Joined by Mark Spector. Every general manager, including Ken Holland, kind of has an idea or a plan, and then you never know if that plan will occur. Do you think that was the case for Ken on trade deadline day when it comes to the Edmonton Oilers?
Well, every GM has more needs than they can find trades on deadline day. Let's make that clear. 31 teams. Ken Holland's primary and most realistic goal that he could fulfill on trade deadline day was always going to be a left shot defenseman. They're in a situation in Edmonton where they had two young players, Caleb Jones and William Lagesson, who were playing sort of that second or third spot among left defensemen below Darnell Nurse. Neither of those players made the coaching staff comfortable enough going into the playoffs. They wanted a veteran guy to go in there, a guy that could play 18, 19, 20 minutes, take a little bit of the time away from Darnell Nurse, who's going at about 25 a game these days. They got that in Dmitry Kulikov, and the youngsters will fill in for injury, but they won't be counted on quite as much this playoff run.
When it comes to Kulikov, who's been around the National Hockey League for a long time and played out on the prairies with the Winnipeg Jets for a few seasons, do they get a solid defenseman who gives them just the kind of player you need down the stretch and maybe more importantly in the postseason?
That's right. The postseason becomes as much about defending, more about defending, frankly, Gene, than scoring. There's less power plays, so the Edmonton Oilers aren't going to be able to live in their power play the way they can some nights with Draisaitl and McDavid. You got to keep the puck out of your net to be a successful playoff team. Dmitry Kulikov is a very strong, hard-to-play against defenseman. He can stop the cycle. I had him described to me today as a bit of a Russian Adam Larson. Yeah. He's not going to get you a lot of points, but he might not be on the ice when you're leading 3-2 late, Gene, but when you're trailing 3-2 late, when you are leading 3-2 late in a game, Kulikov will be on the ice. That's the kind of guy the Oilers need.
Yeah, compliment considering how good Adam Larson has been this season for the Edmonton Oilers. So if you're the Oilers and you're an Oilers fan and the deadline is gone and now you have what you have, how does it make you feel heading into this stretch drive and eventually into the playoffs?
Well, the Oilers are not a perfect team. They're a pretty good team, right? They were 11th in the National Hockey League on the morning of trade deadline day. So that's a top-tier team. They're right in the top third of the league. They are not, in my opinion, an actual cup contender. They've got a couple holes in their top six, even though they've got McDavid and Draisaitl that make up for any of those blemishes. Their bottom six forwards, frankly, they kind of have six fourth-line players, not enough third-line players in there. And I like their defense, even though there's a couple young guys. And in goal, Mike Smith's been fantastic. So there's a lot of positives about this Oilers team. But the holes that they have weren't going to be solved at this deadline. That will happen this summer with Ken Holland.
Yeah, Ken Holland saying not enough cap space, not enough assets, so he got done